Did the skylarks sing that summer morn? Were the rosebuds glad when I was born in Salisbury? When I ballooned into a boy, were the clouds and raindrops full of joy and merry? When sex reared its oh so lovely head, did the moon blush rosy red like a cherry? When I set off across life's rough sea, was it a dolphin that carried me, or a ferry? When all I touched began to flower, was it sweet like honey, or rather sour like a berry? When I lost sight of what was true, was it a rainbow that carried me through, or sherry? When I die, will the skylarks be proud of me? Will the rosebuds be sad my end to see? Not very.
Ko je Timothy Byford?
Neponovljiv, jedinstven čovek.
Ako bih smeo sebi da dozvolim, rekao bih da je on ono najbolje što se iz Britanije može izvesti.
Pa ja nisam siguran da je ovaj proizvod bio samo za uvoz. Ja bih rekao da je ovaj proizvod bio dostojan i izvoza u Veliku Britaniju.
Ta emotivnost njegova, to je specijalna emotivnost. To nije ona uopštena emotivnost, to je nešto što je duša, što je u posedu posebnih ljudi.
Dobar dan. Dobar dan. Evo, mi smo svi poznati Belio.
Akrobata leti snažno, vrlo važno. Poletarac. Cela zemlja leti, leti, a i svimi kad se seti. Crep, cipela, cuclja, car. Poletarac prava stvar.
Ja živim u sadašnjosti, znači ja uopšte ne razmišljam o putu dok ne krenem, mislim. Ja ne razmišljam danima, ja sad ću da idem u Englesku. Danas sam u Belgradu, sutra sam u Engleskoj. Kad se vraćam, nekako mislim uvijek je najlepši kod kuće, samo onda shvatim razlike između Londona i Belgrada što se tiče način življenja i čistoće i ne znam uopće red i tako dalje. Ali ne znam, možda u Londonu red ima suviše. Sjećam se da kad sam prvi put na početku 70. godine, kad sam išao u Minhen, to mi je smetalo, tako Minhen je bio tako čisti i ureden i tako dalje, to mi je malo smetalo. Suviše je bilo više volim kako mi kažem, casual način života. Da. Sjećam se jedan, kad smo se vratili iz, ne znam gdje, iz Grčke, ja mislim, da je jedna žena, ja, hvala Bogu, sad možemo da radimo što hoćemo. Sad idemo, pošto se vrati u Belgrad, sad možemo da radimo što hoćemo. Da. I to je jeste, ja mislim da to je veliki prednost Belgrad.
Šta je sloboda u stvari? Kako se
mislim, opšti sloboda znači da vi možete da radite ono što želite. Ja želim da letim kao ptica. Pa to je, mislim, to je besmisleno, mislim da kažem, že nikad neće da može da leti kao ptica. Ali ako ja volim ono što mogu da radim, onda to je sloboda.
After 2 years living in Belgrade, I began to worry that I didn't belong anywhere, that I wasn't, I didn't belong in England anymore, but I didn't actually belong in Serbia either, and I began to sort of have a feeling of being stateless, of not belonging anywhere. And then suddenly I realized that was freedom, that I was, I didn't belong to any country, I was a man of the world. And I could live, and I still feel that I could live anywhere. It wouldn't, if I for some reason had to go and live in China, I would quite happily go and live in China or Africa.
Timothy, stigo je
odlično.
pasoš i viza.
Evo čekam da vidim kako izgleda viza za Srbin poreklom Englez.
Tu je i vaš britanski pasoš.
Da, dobro. Da čeka britanski pasoš i sad da vidim vizu. Sliku boje, da. Odlično.
Je li vam to prva viza u srpskom pasošu?
Da, prva viza u srpskom pasošu, da. 6 mjeseci, znači
koliko ste dobili?
6 mjeseci, znači mogu više puta da putujem u Engleski, kao Srbin.
Da. Kao Srbin i turiste, jel?
I turiste.
Zabranjeno vam da radite tamo?
Da, jeste, ne smijem da radim. Dobar dan. Dobar dan.
Jel prvi put putujete?
Kao Srbin, da.
Kao Srbin, da.
Možda je to lakše nego ovo što ste svake godine u Srbiji morali da tražite turističku vizu da živite u Srbiji, jel?
To je tačno, jeste. I morao sam da imam vizu da izlazim iz Srbije, izlaznu vizu sam morao da imam, ne samo ulaznu, nego izlaznu. Nisam smeo da izlazim iz zemlje bez izlazne vize.
Bez dozvole.
Da, bez dozvole. Mnogo vam hvala.
Da nam se brzo vratite i da bude sve u redu.
Hvala lijepo. Evo, I was quite surprised to see it open because Simon had given me instructions.
Oh, hello, Timothy. I've got a cup of tea for you.
Thank you.
Which I will leave on top of Just William behind you.
It was built in 1885, I think, so it's, that makes it 127 years old. Yes, yeah. But it all looks rather sad now with all the curtains drawn, but I still have beautiful memories of particularly in the summer, being on the lawn. In the hot weather, we came outside completely naked and played in the grass. We had a big metal, like a bath, or a tub with water in. And then Mother connected a hose pipe from the tap, and so we sprayed each other with cold water. I think fishing is one of the cruelest sports. I mean, the reason, if a fish could make a noise, I don't think people would fish so much. But they don't make a noise, so you pull them out of the river with a hook through that throat. And it must be terribly painful. But as they don't make a noise, I mean, if that was a bird or an animal, they would be screaming and screeching. But because it's a fish, it doesn't make a noise, and so people don't probably think that it doesn't cause them any pain. When I think of children living in towns now, I realise how lucky I was to have spent my whole childhood surrounded by green grass and animals and nature.
Yes.
I think that has made a tremendous difference to my life and also to my creativity as well. I think. I grew up during the war years. I was born in 1941, and it was a time when not so much great poverty, but we certainly didn't have all the toys that children have now. So a lot of our entertainment we created ourselves. And in games, we thought up games. And when people ask me where do I get my inspiration for all the things I put in my programs, I realised that actually a lot of it comes from my childhood and the games that my sister and I thought up. My sister and I used to collect little bits of ceramic, which we found in the garden that had been broken plates and whatever. And so we had a nice collection of bits of china and ceramic. And one day my sister was away with my mother, and I decided I would dig a little hole. I dug a hole and then covered it with some sticks and some sacking and some earth so that you didn't see that it was a hole. And then in the middle planted a nice piece of ceramic, expecting my sister to come home and see it. And, But unfortunately, before she came home, our gardener, who was getting on for 80, he fell in it, quite by accident. And fortunately, it was only a small hole, he didn't hurt himself. But so that didn't... but it was inspiration for a sequence from Nevin, in which the Bismonisher falls in a hole, following a trace not of ceramic, but of apples.
He was very nice looking, and he worked a lot more with John and Pete. And John and Pete became a bit of a comic act actually on the programme under Tim's kind of supervision. And he made these wonderfully inventive, very funny films with the two boys, and they loved working with him. They thought he was terrific.
Things were getting curiouser and curiouser. Here we had to serve bowls of soup to a couple who obviously enjoyed dining out.
But of course it didn't quite fit in with the three people who ran the programme. We were a bit naughty, we called them the triumvirate. And we would often be summoned up to the little room at the top, and you thought, oh dear, I'm going to be ticked off, rapped on the knuckles. And then we made a very funny film together about a baby lion. Well, it was a lion about this big, which we took for a walk. These days we would not be allowed to do something like that because of health and safety. I mean, that's the trouble, there's so much you can't do now. But he was very, very imaginative and very creative. And in a way, I think Blue Peter was the wrong programme for Tim to work on. I think he should have... We had a programme called Monty Python's Flying Circus, which was mad. And I think Tim would have loved to have worked on that. But we lost him to Serbia before he got the chance.
Ja sam prvi put, mislim, gledao Monty Python, baš kad sam došao ovdje, to je poslije 69. Ali ono je interesantno, ja sam pravio jedan film, ja sam radio na Blue Peter dečjem i snimao sam u Hilton Hotel rad kelnera.
I uzeo sam iz Hilton Hotel i neki studenti kelnere. I uzeo sam dva zečice iz Playboy klub. Naravno nisam rekao urednik da to radim. I snimao sam film što je apsolutno, sad sam dobio od BBC i ponovo gledam. I to je čist Monty Python. Mislim, to je potpuno, apsolutno čist Monty Python. Ali ono što je interesantno, to je snimljen u aprilu 69. godine. Prvi Monty Python je bio u oktobru 69. Znači, nikad ne može da kaže da sam ja kopirao Monty Python. Ja sam prehodio Monty Python. Možda su oni gledali, pošto je bilo 5. maja, možda su oni gledali i kao zna.
Come on! But he was a very sensitive person, very imaginative, very pleasant to work with, very nice, very, as a director, because some directors were awful, and he would sort of listen to you and allow you to kind of come up with your ideas.